Hey guys, welcome back to another Circle of Competence. Today we are looking into 3M, ticker symbol MMM. 3M began in 1902 with 5 founders. They were mining for corundum, the material used to make sandpaper and grinding wheels. But what they found instead mining was anthracite, a lesser known material, weaker, but they still persisted in making these sandpaper. In 1905, they added an additional investor, Louis P. Ordway. Even for that time, he invested over $200,000. So even with wrong material being mined, they still persisted in making this work for them. Here we can see that they revolutionized the masking tape. They introduced sandpaper wet and dry. They also introduced Scotch tape as we know it today. For the average consumer, it's a household name. In October of 2019, 3M was introducing the Young Scientist celebration. I can only imagine what this looked like in 1946 when 3M went public. And in 1976, it was added into the Dow Jones Industrial Average. 3M has been an aristocrat's dividend, providing dividend for the last 63 years. And it's over 50-year dividend king. And of course, 3M mass produces all their product lines across 5 different segments: industrial, safety, graphics, electronic and energy, healthcare, and consumer-based. We can see all these different products listed every single day, everywhere we go. It's an icon. It's a staple. It's names that we know. As of today, you see these different brands posted: Scotch-Brite, Scotch, NextCare, filters, all these different items. Here you can see people using Post-it notes as art. Very interesting how they actually do all that. Obviously, 3M Global Research is really huge. It's nationwide, all across the world. They got over 67 countries with 85 laboratories. That is very, very impressive. Now, 3M also invests in technology, not just our normal everyday products. Here we can see a demonstration of their 5G base station antennas and what they contribute to the technology of it. So 3M is constantly innovating and producing new technology as we go forward. They are not just limiting themselves to making Scotch tape and masking tape for painters and consumer grade level. They are industrial. They are constantly coming out with new products. 3M does have a huge science behind them. As of this recording, 3M is trading at $180.80. They have been consistently doing pretty well in the market. As we can see here, from 2016 to 2020, their revenue is up. Their net income is also up by 17.81%, which is pretty impressive. Here is the CEO of 3M currently, is Mike Roman. He's an American executive who currently serves as the chairman and chief executive officer of 3M. He's been with the company since 1988. So one thing that 3M is uncertain of, what my uncertainties with 3M is, the current debt that it holds. Long-term debt is $18.43 billion and current debt is at $1.17 billion, amounting to a total debt of $19.6 billion, adjusted for $4.2 billion in cash equivalents. The company's net debt is at $15.48 billion, which is a lot. Unless that money is being used to reinvest into new technology, this is a debt to be a little concerning to know. I'm not sure why that is. It would definitely require a more deeper investigation. But one thing that does stand out, and maybe why this 3M is a little skeptical right now in being purchased as a long hold investment, is because the number of shares bought compared to the number of shares sold is outweighed. There are more shares being sold than there are being bought with 3M currently. And another interesting fact that I want to point out is that most of the current officers in 3M are selling their shares. There's a problem with that usually when people sell their shares, but there's a bigger problem when executive officers in the company start selling their shares. That just shows that it's a possibility that the stock is not worth what it's at currently and is at its peak. So most people would try to liquidate what they own. Current market cap for 3M is $104.7 billion. So to conclude, is 3M a buy? Yes and no. I would consider it a buy if the price was lower. from the 180.8 that it is currently. It is up 1.78 at this recording. But as you can see in the 5-year charts, it's currently at a lower peak than what it was in the beginning of 2018. The dividend yield, which is at 3.27%, looks pretty attractive. It's not a bad percentage. And the PE ratio is below 20, 19.55. Is this considered a good buy? I think it possibly can. And I think 3M being considered one of the staples in American history will still have a lasting impression going forward. So I would consider 3M a buy for sure. I may even start considering looking into why their debt is so high. And once I'm done with that, I think I'm going to start buying some shares of it myself. Knowing is half the battle. Minnesota Mining and Manufacturing Company, aka 3M.